Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the ultimate test.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala abdihi wa rasulihi al-Ameen. Nabiyyina Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to this new episode of Ask Huda, coming live to you from Jeddah. We have a number of emails. Huda asks, I read that saying thank goodness is something that would lead to shirk. Is this correct? Goodness, if you ask anyone or if you consult the dictionaries, you would find that it is a softer form, and they intend it to refer to God. So when someone says goodness knows or thanks goodness, they are referring to that God knows or thanks to God, not that goodness as we know it. So those who say such a statement, they have the same status of those who say thanks God or God only knows. And this is not shirk, yet it is inappropriate and disrespectful to Allah Azza wa Jal. Because in Islam, we know that Allah Azza wa Jal has the most beautiful names and attributes. And we also know that God is not one of them. It's a translation. And this translation cannot be adapted to any other names of Allah Azza wa Jal. And we must not adopt it and use it. Because God refers in Christianity to Jesus Christ. He is the Son of God, He is one of three, and He is God. It refers in other religions to their false deities and false gods. And therefore, as Muslims, we are not allowed to use this name, but it is not a sign of shirk or leading to, it may lead to it, but it is not something that would be considered to be shirk at the moment, and Allah knows best. Samia from the Emirates.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salamtullah.
I have a question. I don't know how to put it, but basically it's a question about business, right? I'll give you two examples.
Okay.
For example, a bank is obviously riba based, and it's not halal to run a business like a bank, right?
Okay.
Okay. Now, what if you run a business that sells computers, and you sell the computers to a bank? Now, that is one example. And the second example is, for example, obviously we know that having the music concert is haram, right?
Okay.
Now, what if someone is selling security products for a musical concert? For example, they have sort of like wristbands which allow only some people to get into to the music concert.
I got your concept.
You get what I mean, right?
Yes.
Selling a product to a haram business,
Okay.
but your business is actually supplying that particular product to. It's not only supplying that particular product to haram businesses, but you obviously supply it to other halal businesses as well.
Second question.
That's my only question, actually.
Okay, I will answer your question, inshallah. Haris is asking, is it permissible that the nikah and the walima are on the same day? He's confused. Is it permissible to have the marriage contract and the wedding night plus the feast where we call people to the walima, we invite them to eat? Would this be permissible to be at the same day? The sunnah, it's an issue of dispute. The majority or the most authentic opinion is that the sunnah is to have the walima after the wedding night. And this is what the Prophet did ﷺ with Zainab bin Jahsh, may Allah be pleased with her. And this is what the scholars say is the sunnah. However, the most authentic opinion is that it is, alhamdulillah, flexible. So if you have it before the wedding night, if you have it on the wedding night, if you have it after the wedding night, this is all permissible, inshallah, and there's no problem in that. Samia's question was about aiding and assisting a haram activity, though my work is permissible. What's the ruling on that? And she gave two examples: selling computers and, let's say, softwares to a bank that deals in riba. And I know that they'll use these computers and software to assist their daily work, which is riba. Or selling security equipment to a musical concert. So if I install these machines that detect metal so that I know that no one would bring any weapons inside, etc. So what's the ruling on that? Or wristbands to know where this person went or this one, whether he entered or not. The answer is, if your work, if you're selling something that would assist in or be considered as a form of collaboration to sin, it is haram. If I have a shop and I sell lingeries, and I am working in a place that women come, and I know that the majority are not married and they want to buy lingeries. Well, this is not a good example. Let's say that I have a beauty salon, and women come in, and I know that they're not covered, they're not Muslim, they are not wearing the hijab, even if they were Muslims, they're not fully covered, and they want me to fix their looks. Would this be permissible? The answer is no. My work is halal, but due to the fact that they'll use it in something haram, renders it and makes it haram. And likewise, as long as you're assisting the bank that deals in riba in such equipment, or assisting in providing, for example, catering for a rock concert, so you're selling food, you're collaborating with them, then this business of yours is haram. An anonymous person sent this email. He says, I think there's jinn inside of me. My question is, jinn is giving me many thoughts and sometimes speaks through my mouth, though I try to control. So what is a way to deal with them? Being an anonymous, I don't know if you wrote this email or your jinn did that, so I don't know who to address, but I'll try to address the human. Akhi, jinn do possess humans. As Muslims, we believe that. As Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, we believe in that. However, we don't believe that it is so common to the extent that people become delusional and they have these superstitions and they keep on convincing themselves whenever they do something wrong, this is my jinn. He made me. Why did you hit that car? Why did you have that accident? Well, I tried to brake, but my jinn made me accelerate. This is not logical, and it's not always correct. It can happen. We believe in jinn are able to possess humans, but not to the extent that I start blaming my failures on jinn, envy, black magic, or evil eye. This is not the right thing, or not the way to approach it. Therefore, the thing that I would advise you to do is to offer yourself ruqyah. If you're in Saudi Arabia, head to Mecca and make a umrah, and finish your umrah and supplicate to Allah after praying 2 rak'ahs near the Kaaba, and praise Allah and offer salutation to the Prophet ﷺ, and be sincere in your dua, asking Allah not to let you leave haram area before completely curing you and taking all these doubts and whispers of the shaitan and the jinn, if there are any, from you, and inshallah you will find the cure. We have Zaki from South Africa.
Wa alaikum Sheikh.
Wa alaikum salam.
Sheikh, I'm having a question. Are Islam allowed to have a medical insurance? Medical insurance in our Islamic law?
Okay, I will answer you, inshallah.
Jazakallah.
Wa jazak, hayyakallah khidr. Also, to the brother who's complaining from the jinn, I would recommend that he does ruqyah. on himself 3 times a day, 5 times a day, while supplicating to Allah in sujood, between the adhan and the iqamah, before salam, after tashahhud in prayer, so that Allah would cure him. Ruqya is extremely good. It's verses of the Quran recited on yourself, and you can wipe over your body. You can recite it over Zamzam water and drink from that water and wash yourself with it. You can recite it on normal water, as long as you are curing yourself through the verses of the Quran. Zaki is asking about medical insurance. Insurance in general, whether medical or life insurance or vehicle insurance, it falls under the same umbrella, which is gambling. You pay 1,000 rand, as in South Africa, and they tell you you're insured for a whole year. Your coverage can reach up to 300 or 200,000 rands. And what happens if during the year I go to the hospital 10 times, 15 times, I get operated upon, and the bill is 200,000 rands? They'll pay it. But what happens if nothing happens to me and I don't go and see any hospital at all? Then the 1,000 rand I've paid, it's gone, it's theirs. This sounds like, wow, for me it's fair. But it is not. This is gambling. It's like buying a lottery ticket for £1. In some countries, international airport, the minute you go out of the plane, you will see this Porsche 911, beautiful, standing there, all shiny, and they say pay 500 dirhams, only 1,000 tickets, and you have a good one, a chance of 1,000. So you buy this hoping 500 dirham is what? It's a dinner meal. It's nothing. So I can afford this, and you buy it. There's a chance, a big chance, that you will lose your 500. It's gone down the drain. You're happy, but there is a chance that you may win. So this is gambling. It is like drinking intoxicants. Allah Azza wa Jalla had forbidden it in the Quran, and the Prophet had forbidden it in the Sunnah. Likewise, medical insurance is like this. However, if the company that you work for, they declare and they put in the contract that they're responsible for insuring you and your family medically, and they pay all the premiums and you have nothing to pay from yourself, in this case it is permissible to enjoy the benefits of such an insurance, because your company is responsible and they will take this sin, and Allah knows best. Ghaida from the Philippines. Ghaida from the Philippines.
Hello, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
I'm happy to follow this yearly program in Huda, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. What is your question, sister? Listen to me from the phone, please.
Yes. My question, Shaykh, regarding this one of my friend in Philippines, and then there is always coming about jinn.
Okay.
This jinn is always entering in her body, and then after that he's talking about the grave, in the punishment in the grave.
Okay.
And then after that, she saw the house of this girl, that there is more ayah in the house. And then this jinn said that, what kinds of ayah this one? And then we told them that this ayah is from the Quran. And then they said, what is Quran? And then after we are talking about this one, she embraced Islam, this jinn. And then he's crying too much, and then Allah will forgive me if I embrace Islam. And then Alhamdulillah, he said that and thank you for this lady that I enter inside, that I saw the ayah. And then because before that one person killed her, and then she threw it into the garbage. This in Bornal in Philippines, and then this spirit is not always not in the flying like this. Okay. After that, he said that if I embrace Islam, Allah will forgive me. And then when I make it shahada for this jinn inside, she's crying too much, and then she's following La ilaha illallah, ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. she's crying this because
What's the question, Ghaida? Ghaida.
Yes,
What is the question? And make it short because we have so many callers on the line. What is the question?
What she will do for this one lady, this Muslim,
Okay.
that this jinn will not come back again.
Okay, I will
because always this jinn, any jinn coming inside, and then they said that. So what Ruqya, the best Quran to read it?
I will answer your question, inshallah. Jazakallah khair for calling. As for the question of Sister Ghaida, the problem is that prevention is always better than cure. So, as Muslims, now, Sheikh, are you afraid of jinn? Are you afraid of black magic? Are you afraid of envy? Are you afraid of evil eye? Being afraid is not an issue. I'm afraid of lions. I'm afraid of snakes. But do I fear them to the extent that I do not do certain things? The answer is no. I recite my adhkar in the morning, in the evening, and before I go to bed, and after each and every fard prayer. So my heart is connected to Allah, or so I would love to think that it is. And therefore, I should not pay any attention to what these whispers come to me. For the sister, prevention is better than cure. Maintain the adhkar. Maintain reciting Surah Al-Baqarah in your house every 3 nights. If this is not possible, the last 2 verses of Surah Al-Baqarah every 3 nights also prevents shaitan from coming in. Always try to offer your prayer on time. Always wear your hijab. Always, before throwing anything in the garbage or hot water, say Bismillah. And try your level best to supplicate to Allah in your sujood. Offer yourself ruqya. Now, the long story, I'm not sure that this is correct or not. Because the jinn, when they speak, we must not believe them because they are usually liars. So if he cries and he says, I've become a Muslim, okay, if you're a Muslim, get out of her. And if he leaves her, alhamdulillah, by preventing them coming back again through adhkar, through ruqya, inshallah she will be in safe hands. Saifuddin from the Emirates.
Hello, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
How are you, Sheikh?
I'm fine, Jazakallah khair, akhi.
Sheikh, I have only one simple question.
Yes.
We are reading the Urdu Quran, the translation.
Okay.
And in this, instead of mentioning the name of in Allah, they mention Huda.
Aydam.
Is it the right the name of Allah that we can recite Huda instead of Allah?
Okay, I will
That's
answer.
my question, sir.
I will answer your question, Brother Saifuddin. Farhan says that are most jobs in IT halal? And the answer, it depends on the company and the line of work of that company, because IT is a support services. So they're not the core of the business. So if you're an IT department in a factory or in a refinery that produces halal things, your job is halal. If you are in a bank that deals with riba, then your job is haram. If you're producing cigarettes or you're working for an entertainment company, then again, this job is haram. Okay, Saifuddin from the Emirates says that in our Urdu translation of the meanings of the Holy Quran, they do not write Allah, they write Huda. So is it permissible for us to follow this? I believe that any translation that follows this concept is not trustworthy. And we hear a lot of the brothers saying in Urdu, Khuda Hafiz, meaning Allah is Hafiz. So they substitute the name of Allah with Khuda. And regardless of what Khuda or Huda means, it is inappropriate to be used, because as stated before, Allah's beautiful names are known to us, and Huda is not one of them. Therefore, we cannot refer to Allah, the Almighty, in such names. Duha or Duwah, whatever, she says, I know that it is obligatory to send blessings upon the Prophet ﷺ while one supplicates. But my question is, when these blessings should be sent, in the beginning or when you finish the supplication? If you do them in the beginning and at the end, that is extremely well. Otherwise, do it at the very beginning. The Prophet says, alayhi salatu wasalam, كل دعاء محتجر ما لم يصلى عليه. Every dua is blocked from reaching heavens if you do not offer salutation to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. And this is in regard to the general du'as that one does when he's not praying. So someone comes to me and say, okay, Shaykh, I'd like to make dua while in prayer in the sujood position. Should I say, Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah, Allahumma ghafirli warhamni warzuqni? The answer is no. Because the Prophet told us to choose whatever dua we want, and he did not tell us to offer or praise Allah and offer salutation to the Prophet beforehand. But if I'm in my home, and then I remember a sick person that I love, and I'd like Allah to cure him, in this case I raise my hands, face the Qibla, and praise Allah, offer salutation to the Prophet ﷺ. Who? Okay. And also do my dua after offering salutation to the Prophet ﷺ. Imran from Saudi.
Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Shaykh, I have actually 2-3 questions.
2 or 3?
It's all related to each other.
Okay.
My father-in-law, my in-law came this year for Hajj.
Okay.
So I found him, he was doing tawaf on behalf of someone else.
Okay.
So I informed him that this is not permissible. You can do Umrah or Hajj on behalf of someone else.
Okay.
But tawaf is not allowed. But when he came to my place, I asked this question to you also on Ask Huda and show him the answer. But he didn't satisfy with this. So he called to some Maulana in India, and what that Maulana said, that don't listen to them, they are Ahl Hadith.
Okay.
And I saw in a video of Sheikh Muhammad Salah, in which he said that tawaf is like Salah. One cannot pray Salah on behalf of another. So is there any sound hadith in which it's clearly mentioned that we cannot do tawaf on behalf of someone else?
Okay. Second question.
And my second question is regarding the grave worshipper. When I say to my friend that grave worship is wrong, associating partner to Allah is shirk, in this case they are labeling as you have a hobby every time. And whenever every time I say good things to another people, they just give me label. Same, this year I have done Hajj, and Arafah day I saw that some of the group they are not saying Dohar and Asr as a Qasr as Jama. So what they said that you people are Hanafi, we are Shafi. So again they give me a label there.
Okay.
And I also not prefer to call as me as a Sunni, ask a question to these people who give labels.
Okay.
Prophet Muhammad is upon him, I didn't across any verse in Quran Hadith.
Okay. I will answer your question, inshallah. Okay. Abdul Aziz?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, my friend.
Yeah. Hello, Sheikh. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Yeah, I've got 2 questions.
Okay.
Yeah, you see my first question, maybe when we are praying with the Jamaat.
Listen to me from the phone and mute your TV, please.
Okay, all right. All right.
Yes.
Okay, make it off. Now can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, you see, maybe the Imam, he read the Fatiha, he finished. Maybe you read on the Ruku,
Okay.
So those rak'at, then we're going to replace again, or just we finish with Imam? You understand?
Yani, you went to the masjid and the Imam was in the ruku' position and you did not recite the Fatiha. So you said Allahu Akbar and you joined him in ruku'.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
Second question.
Yeah, that's my question. So that rakat, you going to bring it back, or that's my question, first question.
Second question. No.
Yeah, this second question, we are living here in South Africa. There is a KFC, the company, selling the chicken, what. So
Okay.
this thing, there is halal, we don't understand about it.
Okay.
Like big companies,
I will answer your question, inshallah, akhi.
Okay, jazakumullah.
Before we go to Imran's question, we have Ruqayya, and she says, Sheikh, is it okay for a Muslim man to work in the U.S. Army? And this was answered by Allah Azza wa Jal in Surah Al-Mumtahina. Allah tells us that He does not forbid us to be kind and fair to those who do not fight us on the account of religion and do not get us out from our homes. And then goes on to the second ayah, but Allah forbids us from being kind and fair and friendly to those who fight us on the account of religion, and they do their best to get us out from our homes or help those who drive us out from our homes. Allah forbids us from befriending them or taking them as allies, and whoever does this is considered to be among the wrongdoers. So when we look at the question, and we look at what's happening in so many different parts of the world, and we look at the drone attacks, and we look at the children, the women, the elderly being slaughtered, we know that it is not permissible to work in the US Army, and the evidence behind this is these two verses in the Quran. It's in black and white. Imran from I think he's from Saudi Arabia. He's asking about the ruling on performing tawaf on behalf of others. And he said that he saw people doing this, and he told them that this is not permissible, and they spoke to their scholars in their countries, and they told them that it's okay, it is permissible. These scholars and students of knowledge in Saudi Arabia are Wahhabis. And he's saying what to do. So, Wallahi ya akhi, they have their opinion. They can call us Wahhabis as they wish, or they call us Ahl al-Hadith. And it's an honor and a privilege to be among Ahl al-Hadith. So when someone tells you about the ruling of something and you quote him a hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, these people would belittle it and say, this is not good. The hadith of the Prophet ﷺ is not good? Are you crazy? Are you a Muslim to begin with? So don't be annoyed. Don't be irritated by such labelings. As long as you're following the Quran and the Sunnah, Allah is pleased with you. So with all due respect, the hell with them. Who cares about what they say or what they label you and I? No one cares about this. Now, my heart is at ease because I follow the Quran and I can quote the ayah, and this is my evidence. I follow the hadith. This is in Bukhari, this is in Muslim, this is in Tirmidhi, Nasa'i, Abi Dawood, or any of the great books of hadith, and I know whether it's authentic or not. But you, my friend, who do you follow? I follow this person, I follow this dead person, I follow that dead person, and I just follow what they say blindly. See, who's closer to Allah? Those who follow Allah's revelation, those who follow the hadith, or those who follow people whom they think that they follow the hadith or the sunnah. Likewise, for grave worshippers, they're calling him Wahhabi. Well, labeling people is easy. If you call us Wahhabi, we can easily call you a mushrik, because you're doing exactly what the idol worshippers in Quraysh used to do. They used to worship these idols, Allat wal-Uzza, and they used to say, oh Allah, forgive us through them. And this is what you're doing. You're going to a grave and saying, or to a dargah and saying, oh Allah, please forgive me through them. Or you are actually addressing them. Oh Maulana so-and-so, oh Tijani, Jilani, Badawi, whatever, do forgive us. And whoever does this is definitely mushrik and a kafir, and don't care about what the people say. If you shorten your prayer in Arafah and you combine it Dhuhr to Asr to Dhuhr, you are following the hadith in Sahih al-Bukhari, in other books of hadith. This is what the Prophet did, alayhi salam. If they prefer to follow their leaders and their imams and abandoning the sunnah of the Prophet alayhi salam, they definitely have a problem. Abdul Aziz from South Africa, he's saying that if I join the prayer, but I come to the masjid, the imam is in the ruku', so I say Allahu Akbar, and I join him. I didn't recite the Fatiha and I didn't hear it from the imam. Would this be considered a valid rak'ah, or should I make it up? The answer is no. As long as you and the imam were in the same ruku' position together, then this is a valid rak'ah, because the Prophet said, alayhi salam, whoever attains the ruku' with the imam, then this is a valid rak'ah. And then he's asking us about KFC and these mega companies that sell food which needs to be slaughtered, whether chicken, beef, or sheep, etc. So he's saying that, is this halal, is it haram? It's an issue of dispute. But as long as you are in South Africa and the majority are Christians, so they are considered to be the people of the book. And this means that Allah has permitted us to eat from the slaughtering of the people of the book. As long as you don't have ample and strong evidence that they're not slaughtering, I don't know if they're slaughtering or not, then this is good enough. As long as they're Christian and this is the food that they're preparing, and I don't know whether they're slaughtered or not, but as mentioned in the Quran, this is what they usually do. So I will take it for its face value and I will eat. Now, if you want to avoid this just to be in the safe, alhamdulillah, this is far better and greater, until you enforce them to declare that what they're slaughtering is halal. But if I see someone eating from it in Britain, in the US, in South Africa, in a Christian-dominated country, I would not tell him that you are doing something wrong, and Allah knows best. We have a short break. Stay tuned, and inshallah, we'll be right back.
The Messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, narrated that when Allah, glory be to him, wishes good for someone, he bestows upon him understanding of the religion, and that Allah makes the path to paradise easy for those who seek knowledge. Preoccupied by work or family in the modern world, a Muslim may struggle to find time for acquiring Islamic knowledge. To ease this struggle, we are launching Huda Academy to be your gateway to online Islamic e-learning.
Enroll now and study from our renowned scholars. Learn Aqidah from Dr. Muhammad Salah.
Learn Fiqh from Dr. Hatim Al-Hajj.
Learn Hadith from Dr. Muhammad Sa'id.
Learn Tafsir from Sheikh Ibrahim Zidan.
And learn Arabic from our professional instructors.
Successful graduates of Huda Academy will go through a final test and eventually receive a certificate of completion.
To enroll and learn more about Huda Academy, please visit us online at hudaonlineacademy.com.
Huda Academy, your gateway to authentic Islamic knowledge. Europe's forgotten heritage.
This is a sad reminder of the past history of the Muslims in the city. Nowadays, there are no Muslims anymore. These are the mosques that have remained. And it is really sad. Wait a second, this is Morocco. No, this is Tunisia, Algeria, North Africa, Egypt. No, this is all Europe, and this is all part of Spain. Islam spread first in Africa, and then from Africa it came over to Europe, and then it did developing work in Europe. Now, we look the other way around nowadays. The compass was invented by the Muslims. Many important inventions came from the time of the Muslims on the Iberian Peninsula. Instead of people becoming less in battles, as we normally know, as we know in battles obviously people die, but no, what was happening? The Spaniards recognized and realized the superiority of the Muslims and the treatment that the Muslims gave to the Christians and the Jews in Spain at that time, that they happily accepted Islam, many of them. And not over the fountain, as we've seen it before in other places in Greece. Now, it has some Arabic on top, as well as it had some Arabic down, where the tap used to be, or where the water was coming out.
Pack your bags, grab your passports, and join Dr. Steph Caris as he takes us through Europe and rediscovers Europe's forgotten heritage, only on Huda TV.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome back. I believe that Sister Samira from Saudi Arabia is with us on the line.
Yes, Sheikh, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Yes, hello.
Yes, if you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, I cannot answer you except by saying A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajim.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم Sheikh.
Yeah, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes. Actually, sir, this question was bothering for me for 7 years.
Okay.
What's this? I married as a second wife.
Okay.
Then for 7 years, he did not confess me to his family. According to him, his first wife will not accept me. When I keep asking him about confessing me after to accept me to his family, he sent my father for Hajj in spite of that.
Okay.
When my father in Mecca, for bad luck, he died after Tawaf. So he did not meet my father. Is my marriage for him is valid? And is there any benefit for my husband to send my father to Hajj? That's the question on it. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome, inshallah. I'll try my best to answer your question. Who? Okay, Umar from Nigeria. Brother Umar.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
How are you, Sheikh?
I'm fine, Jazakallah khair, ya akhi. What can I do for you?
I have a question for you, sir.
Yes.
Please congratulate a Muslim brother on Friday by saying Jumu'ah Mubarak. Please, did video allowed?
Okay, I will answer this. Any more questions?
That's all. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome, akhi. Hayyakallah. Samira's question that she's married as a second wife for 7 years and her husband did not introduce her to his family. And she's asking, is this marriage valid? As long as other people know about you and him, so it's not a marriage in secrecy. So your family know about him, your relatives, and maybe the people around you in the area know about this marriage. This is permissible, the marriage is correct. But when the marriage is in secrecy, so only your father and 2 witnesses know, and it is not publicized, no one knows that you're married, then this is an issue of doubt and suspicion. And that is why scholars say that the 2 witnesses are not intended for themselves, it's rather to publicize and make it public to everyone that these couple are married. Not telling his wife, not telling his parents, not telling his close relatives does not nullify the marriage. However, it should be done so that in case that he dies, they would know that he had a second wife for the inheritance, if you have children, so that they would relate to these children. Okay, Abdullah from Sweden.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah, Abdullah.
Do I have any voice, inshallah?
I did not hear you.
Do I have any voice, inshallah?
Do you have a voice? I hear you now. Yeah, what's your question?
Okay, inshallah. Sheikh, when I come back from my country, I feel that my iman gets low every day. It decreases every time. And I try to increase it by doing good actions like fasting and nafilah prayer and so on, reading the Quran every day. But I don't feel any change. I feel that the iman is decreased. Sometimes when I sit with a believer in the mosque, I feel like a stranger. I don't feel like them. And I just wonder what can the reason be.
Where is your country, Abdullah? Where is your country? Huh? Where is your country where you come back from? Morocco?
No, Iraq.
Iraq, okay. I will answer your question, inshallah. Farouk, which is the last question on the emails, he says that what does Islam say on the 21st of December 2012, so-called end of the world? I don't know. Are there Muslims still believe in these crazy stuff? Just because 6,000-7,000 years ago in the ancient Maya, they discovered a pyramid and they found things stating that the end of the world ends that here or there. This is nonsense. Did you see it yourself? No, but archaeologists did. Who? 1 or 2, 10 or 20, 100? And you believe these disbelievers and so many writings and calligraphy on the pyramids of the Mayans to be true? Any Muslim who believes that the end of the year would be on the 21st of December 2012 or 2050 or gazillion 100, whatever, he's not a Muslim. He has committed an act that nullifies his Islam, stating that there is a planet called Nibro, and it's coming and it's approaching. NASA says this, the world would have this, we will not have. These are all fabrications. Muslims believe that no one knows the unseen except Allah Azza wa Jal. So, is it the end of the world on the 21st? If you believe, I recommend that you sell your house, and I'll be the first one to buy that. Sell your car, give me your money. What use of it if you're going to die on the 21st? Just give it away. Come on. How can you be a Muslim when you believe that the world would end and you know that Allah is the only one who knows when the world would end? If someone tells me the world would end in the next 10 years, 100 years, the Prophet did not know this, alayhi salatu wasalam. So that these Indians from the Mayan civilization or these archaeologists or whatever come and pretend that they can predict the future. All of this is kufr. And if you believe in it, if you even have doubts in it, then you're not a proper Muslim. Umar from Nigeria is saying, what's the ruling on saying Jum'ah Mubarakah? The answer is, Aisha radiallahu anha said, whoever says, let me rephrase that, whoever innovates in our religion that is not part of it, this is rejected, the Prophet says, alayhi salam. So, let's see. Did the Prophet say Jum'ah Mubarakah? Nope. Did the companions used to congratulate one another during Friday, as they do during Eid, when they say Taqabbal Allahu minna wa minkum, etc.? And the answer is no. So, we have a dilemma. Something that the Prophet did not do, alayhi salam, and it was not done by the companions nor the rest of the Muslim population, the righteous predecessors. So what is the ruling on it? The ruling is that it is not permissible. However, we do not say it is not permissible, and if someone congratulates you and tells you, Shaykh, Jum'ah Mubarakah, you punch him in the nose. Or if he is talking to you, say, Assalamu alaikum, Jum'ah Mubarakah, you hang up. No. If someone says this to you, you just say, Jazakallahu khairan. But you do not initiate it, let alone sending a text message every single Jum'ah as a fard, or as a sunnah, to people that the Prophet says this, or Al-Hasan al-Basri says this, and a long text, and your Jum'ah Mubarakah. No, this is not part of the sunnah at all. Naima or Ni'ma from the Emirates. I think we've lost Ni'ma. Abdullah from Sweden, he says that whenever I come from my home countries and from Iraq, and I reach the country that I live in at the moment, in Europe, I feel that my iman is decreasing and I'm losing a lot of love, though I try my best to offer good deeds and to recite the Quran, to have night prayers, etc. But still, I'm not as I used to be. Well, the Prophet told us, alayhi salatu wasalam, in an authentic hadith, إِنَّ لِكُلِّ عَمَلٍ شِرَّةٍ. Every deed, whether good or bad, whether Islamic or un-Islamic, it has a peak. And every peak, وَإِنَّ لِكُلِّ شِرَّةٍ فَتْرَةٍ, has a decline. The Prophet says, whoever the decline is to my sunnah, then he is guided. And whoever decline is to other than my sunnah, then he is doomed. So, in the very beginning, Allah guided me to Islam. I felt that I can see the light. My chest is expanding and I'm so happy, I'm so optimistic. And I keep on doing good deeds. I pray 4 or 5 hours night prayer. I fast every Monday and Thursday and the white days and so on. I read 3-4 juz of the Quran. I go to the prayer before the adhan. And I finish after they close the masjid. Everything is fine and great. No music, no movies, no sending my gaze anywhere. So, mashallah, I'm doing well. And after 6-7 months, shaitan creeps in and I start loosen up a little bit. So instead of 4 hours, I start to pray maybe 3, 2, 1, half an hour, 5 minutes, I pray only witr. Okay. Okay, sister from Riyadh, I don't know the name. Sister from Riyadh.
Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Salamullah. Listen to me from the phone and mute your TV, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
How are you, Sheikh?
I'm fine, Jazakallah khair. And the name, please?
Ambreen.
Ambreen. Okay, what can I do for you, sister?
I have two questions.
Okay.
I just want to know, is it authentic hadith or not? I read in a book that it is a hadith that whoever recites salutation on Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam 100 times after Fajr and Maghrib Salah without talking, he or she will get 100 benefits, 30 of this world and 70 from hereafter. I want to know, is it authentic?
Okay.
Hadith or not?
This is not authentic. The second question.
And second question is, to say Lama Ajirna Minan Nar 7 times after Fajr and Maghrib Salah without talking. Is it authentic hadith or not?
Okay, I will answer your question, inshallah.
Okay, thank you so much. Jazakallah.
Abdul Kareem from Saudi.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Sid, I have a couple of questions to ask.
Yes.
First, what does Adnan mean?
Adnan?
What does Adnan mean? Meaning of Adnan.
Okay.
And the second one, one day I contacted South Bank, Islamic branch, to take loan. And they told me about the detail that you have to pay 3,000 riyal as a processing fee, and then you have to pay 1.8% the amount you will take from me.
What bank is this?
I contacted Saab Bank to take loan, and I asked them for detail. They told me that you have to pay 3,000 riyal as a processing fee.
Okay.
And you have to pay 1.8%, okay, to the amount you will take from us.
This is money for money, or you're going to buy something from them and then sell it?
No, they're saying, okay, we will buy on your behalf, okay, rice or whatever, okay. They say like this, okay.
I will answer
your question. They will buy rice for me and sell in the market.
I will answer your question, inshallah. Okay, Sister Ambreen, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, asked about the hadith of praying Fajr and not speaking, and that you'll get 30 benefits here and 70 in the hereafter. This is a fabrication. It has no origin to it. And the second hadith, saying 7 times, Allahumma ajirna minan nar, the hadith, the famous well-known hadith, that whenever a person says this in the morning, and Allahumma inni as'aluka al-jannah, oh Allah, grant me Jannah, that the hellfire speaks to Allah and says, oh Allah, protect him from me. And this is a hadith that is disputed whether it's authentic or not. I believe that it is authentic, and I do it in the morning, in the evening. I ask Allah 7 times to protect me from hell, and I ask Allah 7 times to grant me paradise, and I pray to Allah that He accepts this prayer from me and you. Brother Abdul Kareem from Saudi Arabia is asking, what's the meaning of the name Adnan? I don't know. There are so many names that may have origin or a meaning in Arabic, and there are names that don't have a meaning in Arabic. To me, I don't have any knowledge of this name, what it means, though I know that it is one of the ancestors of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. We have Suhaib from Saudi Arabia.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, I have one question.
Yes.
In a mosque, when we are praying Sunnah, or if we are completing our prayer after the Imam, if somebody tries to cross from in front of you, is it necessary to stop him by hand, or it is okay to continue praying without stopping him?
Okay. Are you praying to something, or you're praying in the open?
No, I'm praying in the mosque.
Yes.
In the masjid,
what's in front of you?
Anything in front of me.
Nothing in front of you. Is he passing between your feet and where you put your head, or beyond that?
Yes, it becomes then two questions. If he is passing from the point of sujood, or if he is passing beyond that.
Okay, I will answer the question, inshallah.
Okay, thank you.
Wujak. Brother Abdul, Amreen.
Yes.
From Dubai. Yes, what can I do for you?
No, from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
From Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. Okay, Amreen. Yes.
Yeah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam to Allah.
Yeah, I have two questions, Bashir.
Yes.
Yeah, the first one is anybody coming for Umrah or Hajj, should they call up their relatives and ask forgiveness or inform them that they are going for Hajj and Umrah?
Okay, second question.
And the second one is, if they have any dispute or anything from anybody, should they call up them and mend up their affairs or seek forgiveness?
It's the same thing.
Is it anything like that?
The same question, almost.
It's the same question, but they have a problem. They are coming from India. They need this answer.
Okay. I will answer your question, inshallah.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam to Allah. Abdul Karim's question about a loan he's asking from a bank. And he said SAB Bank. And they said that in order for them to give him a loan, he has to pay 3,000 riyals as process fees, and then they would charge him 1.8% as a profit. And getting a loan directly, money, and then paying it back money is forbidden, and this is riba. However, I think that they meant to sell him rice or sell him something which is known as tawarruq. And this is forbidden unless they have the merchandise before you sign any papers or pay anything. So if they tell you, yes, we have 5 tons of rice, tell them I'd like to see it in the store, warehouse or in your stores. And they show it to you and you know that it's there and the label is there and you're going to buy the same thing, it's okay to agree on a deal, and they can put any margin of profit they want because they're selling you something. They're not lending you money. Now the 3,000 riyals processing fees, it should be included. But what I know, that they charge you first the 3,000 riyals before doing anything. And then after you signed the papers and the contract and they do the actual selling, they process it. If you don't, then the 3,000 riyals has gone down the drain. And this is a little bit tricky, but it seems, because you're buying and you're not borrowing, it seems okay. However, I do not know if this Islamic way of doing it is being applied by SAB. And as you've heard last week, there are question marks. $1.9 billion fine, the biggest in the banking history, because of their money laundering. This is, of course, in the American and Mexican branches. In Saudi branches, I hope that nothing of such is being done. However, it seems to me, if, as stated, they own the merchandise before any obligation on your side, and you buy it from them and you take it physically and you sell it yourself somewhere else, this 3,000 riyals and the 1.8% is legitimate, and Allah Azza wa Jal knows best. Suhaib from Saudi Arabia is saying that what's the ruling on a man passing in front of you if you have prayed with the Imam and the Imam concluded his prayer and you're standing up to complete your own? If the person is passing in front of you beyond the area where you put your forehead in, so this is the area of my feet and this is where I put my head when I prostrate. If he's passing from here, then this is okay. He has nothing wrong. He had done nothing wrong. What he is not allowed to do is when I'm putting my head here and he wants to cross from in between. This is mandatory for me to prevent him from crossing. And Amreen from Jeddah, she's saying that there is this conception among us whenever someone from our home country is traveling for is traveling for Hajj or Umrah, is it mandatory that he goes and calls his relatives, his loved ones, and saying, listen, I'm going for Umrah, I'm going for Hajj, so please forgive me if I had done anything wrong to you, so make me, alhamdulillah, go with your pardon and your forgiveness? This is not the Sunnah. And this was never done by the Prophet ﷺ nor by his companions. So you just may go without calling anyone. A lot of the people think that I have to call everyone on my contact list and telling them that I'm going for Umrah. This is wrong. It's better that you don't tell anyone except the loved ones that would be harmed if you don't. So you can't go without telling your parents. You can't go without telling someone who's very close to you. As for the second question, Brother Dhakir from Saudi Arabia.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Assalamu wa rahmatullah.
Sheikh, just a while ago while you were answering one question, you said that there are people who say it's Wahhabi and Ahl Hadith.
Okay.
From the Indian context, if you take this, there are many organizations like madrasas, like Nadawi, Deoband Madrasa is there, and Jamaat Islami, it's a big organization, and also Tablighi Jamaat, it's working. So it happens that people from India, they come here, they study, and they go back to India. And there they come and they said that we are Ahl Hadith, and you have to, such a large population of India, second largest population, Muslim population in India, and they want to change everybody overnight, and they said that you are all wrong. So it's the other way around, that it's actually some of these people who come there and they sometimes even a fitna like they make in India.
Okay.
And we have seen this there.
I will address your issue, Brother Dhakir. I will address it, inshallah. Amrain's second question is the same thing, that whether calling someone that I have dispute with, you should call them and clear your dispute before you go to Umrah, and even if you're not going for Umrah altogether. A Muslim should not have any dispute with another Muslim for more than 3 days, each one of them neglecting the other, not giving salam and turning his face the other side. The Prophet tells us that their deeds are never uplifted to Allah, and Allah Azza wa Jal would not look at them until they reconcile. So whether you're going for Umrah or not, if you have a dispute with someone, try to clear it and try to purify the hearts. Brother Dhakir, and the last question, and he's saying that the issue of Ahl al-Hadith, the issue of Salafis, the issue of Wahhabis, the issue of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, people who come as expats and work in Saudi Arabia, they are exposed to the actual Islam, which is Quran, Sunnah, understanding them with the understanding of the righteous predecessors, of the Salaf, the companions of the Prophet ﷺ, the Tabi'een, and those who followed them. This is the best understanding of the Quran and Sunnah. No one can come afterwards and say, I know more than they do. So when they come and see that all the bad practices have been brought on, and they see the shirk, they see the innovation, they see the different practices that go against the Sunnah, most and the majority of the Muslims who come here, alhamdulillah, they go back to their countries as da'is, trying to take the people from darkness into light. Brother Dhakir is saying that what we face is that they are a minority, and they're coming and they're facing the society, they're talking to Tablighi Jama'at, they're talking to Daubandis, Barlevis, they're talking to Maududis and so on. All these people, all these great big groups in Islam, and they're talking against them, and they're trying to fix what is wrong. And he's saying that this is not possible overnight, and I totally agree with him. You cannot change people overnight. However, it would be not appropriate to shut your mouth and not say anything because everybody is doing it. It is a duty upon you to deliver the call of Allah Azza wa Jal, to give da'wah to people, to explain the truth of Islam to these people who have been brought up not to follow the proper Islam, but rather to follow their imams and their maulanas and their turbaned people. Now, do we say that the turban people are wrong? No, not necessarily. See, in a place like India and Pakistan and Bangladesh and everywhere around you, Muslims are instructed to follow the Quran and the Sunnah. So if I go to my scholar and I tell him Allah says this, and he says, no. Or I tell him the Prophet says this, he says, oh, you're a Wahhabi. Why? Because I'm quoting a hadith or an ayah? Or am I threatening your throne and your power and control over the people? You're right, Brother Dhakir. The brothers who go back to their country should have the wisdom, the hikmah, how to address people and when to address them. And they themselves have to gain knowledge to be able to pass the knowledge on. But to come to these countries, it says, Bin Baz says no, Bin Uthaymeen says no. These people can provide us with hundreds of scholars who are in the same magnitude to the people of their country. So this is not the right thing to do. The right thing to do is to know the Quran, to learn the Sunnah, and to provide the evidences to the people with a smiling face, without pointing fingers. Some brothers are extremely professional in sitting back and monitoring all da'is, all scholars, all the people in the arena, and they say, oh, these are the satellite heroes. So they start slandering this and talking negative. Maybe in what they say there is right. Maybe in what they say there is truth. But it is unwise to do it in this fashion. Now you are making us look silly, because look at what your brothers are doing. And they are repelling everyone against Salafiyya, against Islam, against following the Sunnah. And this is wrong. You can show the right, show the light, explain to the people, because Ahl Sunnah, they are the most merciful to the people. And they are the most kind to the people. Not the most harsh, not the most filthy tongues and slandering and labeling people. I'm afraid that this is all the time we have. Until we meet you next time, fi amanillah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Allah is my heart's speech. Your mercy is what I beseech. Keep in my heart your remembrance, and in your deen allow me to advance. Help me in my quest. Permit me to pass the